In this video, we'll look at the stages I went through to paint in watercolor and colored pencil this loose sketch of a pretty wild orchid. Hi, I'm Anna Mason. Welcome to Nature Studio TV, here to help you become the artist you want to be. This gorgeous wild orchid is a small flower that's often overlooked, so it was really fun to enlarge it and capture all of its detail in this sketch. A long format version of this class is available in Nature Studio, my online art school and community. Here's a quick overview. I based the sketch on a reference photo I took. Because these orchids are protected, I photographed it in situ, then took a bit of artistic license, editing out other plants and adding a few more leaves. I sketched it freehand and it didn't need to be too precise. Nature Studio members get a traceable line drawing they can quickly work from. With the drawing made in HB pencil, I went over it in waxy coloured pencil. I use black because I like a bold look, but other colours would work well too. Having the lines in place helped this looser style because it gave defined edges and would help contain the paint. I worked with a limited 6-colour palette and dived straight into the fun painting stage by laying down lots of uplifting colour. Using my size 5 brush, I mixed a pale pink purple for the petals and kept it really light, holding the brush higher up to keep my hand loose. I mapped that pale pink through the unopened buds and petal sections, holding off from areas that had more of a brown hue. This was the mapping out stage, working out what colours went where. Next, I brought in the lightest pink browns, letting them bleed a little into these pinks for the slightly looser style. For now, I left gaps for where I could see greens within this area. Before adding those greens, I let it dry off and went on to the leaves. I used my mop brush here to cover the leaves quicker and mix the lightest greens using my green with yellow and muting it a touch with some brown. I mapped the leaf colour in, left gaps for the spots and worked around those shapes so that those markings would be easy to place later. Where the reference was really dark, I used artistic license to lighten it, but still kept the idea of the spotty pattern. I deepened some areas slightly, then went back down to the size 5 brush for the stem, keeping the handling loose and letting it dry off a little longer where I needed a cleaner edge. Once it had dried off and wasn't bleeding in, I filled the pale green areas in the flower, still keeping them lighter than they'd end up. I kept some paper colour showing through in the brightest areas. I let it dry off, then mixed a fairly pale brown for the spots, keeping it much lighter than it would need to be. Holding the brush higher up again, I roughly popped the blobs in and added a little liney details to suggest the texture. I used the same mix on other leaf areas and darkened it slightly where the leaf was much darker overall. With the flowers dry, I went in with the darkest tones. I mixed a dark purple for the richest dark purples in the petals, cleaned my brush and used the size 5 again. I deepened it with a touch of Payne's grey so that it matched the deepest shadows, then dropped it into the darkest petal areas, holding the brush higher up to keep it loose. I adjusted that dark mix to be a little bit more earthy brown for the very darkest bits at the top, kept checking the reference photo because it's pretty complex, and placed those dark accents where they sit along the bottoms and in the shadows so the petals started to get form. Next, I worked with my mid-tone colour, a more vibrant pink at a milky consistency. The mid-tones went straight over what I just painted. It didn't have to be completely dry and a little bleeding was fine in this looser style. I then increased contrast where needed, kept it bright and used a pale brown with the side of the brush to create a bit of spotty texture. I let it dry off, then switched to a size 3 brush so I could place paint exactly where I wanted it. I went back to the dark mix for a bit of extra darkening to get the contrast strong, added a few lines, then left it to dry off again. I moved on to the leaves by applying the dark patches, mixing a really rich dark brown by using my brown burnt sienna, the dark Payne's grey and the warm permanent rose. I stippled and applied the paint in little lines to achieve the pattern I could see to the leaf in my reference photo, leaving tiny gaps to create that visual texture, and I kept the darkest tones strongest in the shadow areas. I needed it to have dried off a bit, so I worked on the stem next. I mixed a darker version of my green and yellow with a touch of brown for that earthy quality. I concentrated the darker tone down the left side and then blended it out. When I could see that the lightest tone was too light, I went back over it and let it blend in, keeping bits of texture and adding a touch more yellow where needed. Then I mixed a mid-tone green, which was my green, yellow and a touch of the brown, and worked into the leaves, leaving a few little gaps through and aiming for that ribbed effect. I mixed an even darker version for the really dark leaf behind, adding a touch of the Payne's grey. I added a few lines for the ribbed effect, keeping the underside darker and holding off some edges where I wanted that more yellow note later. Before making any more paint adjustments, I went over the pencil work again so it was nice and bold. The paper had dried off at this point, which was great, and the stronger line helped the sketchy style. With the line work darker, I then darkened up the painting's darkest tones, the blobs in the leaves again, with my size 5 brush. With those darks as dark as they needed to be, it was clearer that I needed to darken the flowers a touch more, so I switched to my size 3 brush for more controlled line details. I then darkened and brightened the greens again with a more yellow-green mix so the leaves felt cohesive. Now the flower looked dark enough, I had some fun using my mop brush to add watery pink splatters, then a few watery yellow-green ones for that loose, sketchy look. After the splatters, I went back in with my smaller brush to darken any last areas that I felt needed it so that the contrast levels looked right overall. Then I added an extra little bit of coloured pencil detail and embellishment, picking out the flower colour and using the side of the pencil to get lots of paper texture to enhance that mixed media look. I had one last look over for any small details to add, strengthening a few edges and adding dark accents where I felt it helped. And the energetic, vibrant sketch was done. A full-length video class of this wild orchid, complete with an outline drawing you can trace, a reference photo and a list of paints is available now with Nature Studio membership. If you've enjoyed this mini class, please subscribe to Nature Studio TV, then pop over to naturestudio.com where you can sign up for a free class and find a whole heap of free resources to help you capture the beauty of nature on your paper. Thanks for watching, and if you want to find out more about my art school, Nature Studio and the free class that's waiting for you there, keep watching. Have you taken my free full-length watercolour class yet? If not, you're in for a treat. In it, I guide you step by step through painting a juicy, realistic pear that'll make you think, wow, I did that. You'll learn a repeatable, reliable watercolour method that you can go on to use for painting all kinds of other subjects. I'm confident you'll discover something that I already know, that you're a better artist than you think. I teach everything about my watercolour method in this full-length class, and I'm sharing it with you for free because I want to show you what you can achieve with the right instruction. If it ignites a spark in you, just as it has for thousands of others who've taken this class, there are hundreds more detailed tutorials you can unlock if you choose to become a Nature Studio member. So get the free class now and get ready to wow yourself with your results.